So I dressed for the occasion.
I see.
I mean, I'm wearing a tube top, but
Every time I wear a tube top, people think I'm naked.
yeah. And I know we initially connected because of the business retreats, and I do want to talk about that. But
Okay.
once I realized you had the whole naturist,
Naturist is the correct
Mhm.
pronunciation.
I was like, that is fascinating. We
Okay.
need to get into
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I mean, we just had, like I said, a yoga retreat. There's so much you can do with having that freedom at a resort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. So can we start with how you got to having Playa Sonrisa in Mexico?
Yes, absolutely. It is a long story, but I'll try to make it short. So, my dream was to live on the ocean and to have a bed and breakfast. And there was a place that I was going to buy in Maryland. And it had everything I wanted. It had the beach bar, the beach, the pool, the bed and breakfast. And my boyfriend fell in love with it, and we were like all out to buy it. We were set. We were going to buy it. And the owners had owned it for 40 years, and they were kind of dragging their feet. And Steve's like, look, Blaney, just go Google and see what else is out there in the world because we don't have to do this. We have to do something. And so with that, I started Googling beachfront bed and breakfasts for sale, restaurants for sale. And Playa Sonrisa came up in my Google search because he was very smart. He did Playa Sonrisa for sale.com. Duh, right? Very smart the way he did it. And we looked at it and it was just breathtakingly beautiful in the photographs. And then, of course, it did say that it was a clothing optional resort for the last 22 years. So we kind of giggled at it for a minute because we're like, we've never gone topless or naked or anything like that. And we kept looking. And then we came to Cancun, we came to Cozumel, we kept coming back to Mexico. And so I said to Steve, I said, why don't we just go look at it? What can it hurt? Right? Because it doesn't have to be clothing optional if we decide to change it. That's our rights. It could be a dive center. It could be a fly fishing center. It could be a retreat center, which has sparked my brain, being the business brain. And there's so much you could do when you have a private space like this. So lo and behold, we literally left Cancun in November, flew back a week later to come look at the place because we just fell in love with Mexico. And yeah, got a few months of negotiating and really wasn't a hard decision. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm moving to Mexico. What the heck am I going to do? I've lived in the same house for 25 years, right? It was just like,
Mm-hmm.
this is an amazing adventure and an opportunity, not just personally to live an amazing life, but also a business opportunity.
Yeah. And I love that. I thought about it later after meeting you. I was like, that's so smart because when you think, well, at least me, I can't speak for everybody, thinking of having my own retreat space, the first step I think of, oh, I need a piece of land. I would never have thought, let me look for a place that already exists and is already built and already has a community and I just take it over. That's so smart.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a no brainer, really. When you think from a business standpoint, like it makes sense, right? We've got rooms, we've got a beautiful space, we've got a restaurant, we've just put in a pool. Like, what better than to bring people together off the grid like this? I mean, it really is. We just finished a retreat yesterday and the experience they had, they couldn't believe it. Like how much they got done, how much work they got done because they were not connected to technology.
Oh my God. Okay. So I also love that part that I saw on your website that there's no Wi-Fi. And as someone who has hosted retreats, I have tried to implement digital detox where we don't use our devices. But some people do anyway. But to be in a place where it's just like, it's just not going to work. I
Yeah.
really love that.
So to be correct, we do have high speed Wi Fi. That's how we're chatting today. But there is no
Yeah,
cell towers and no televisions in our room. So like if you have a cell phone, you have to make calls through WhatsApp or Wi-Fi calling. But it really does cut down on things. People just put their phones on airplane mode. They disconnect. They can't be
that's
tempted to
great.
binge watch Netflix or anything like that. You've got to sit down and just enjoy being here and in this tranquil and beautiful space, like you said. And I saw it for myself when this last group was here, how much they really, enjoy just disconnecting. Nobody's like, well, where's the TV? I can't sleep. Like it wasn't like that at all, at all.
Yeah. We don't realize how attached we are to all that stuff. And then when when we're in a position where that we don't have it, it's like, oh, this is amazing. I haven't looked at my phone in days. Or you
Yeah.
just, this release of anxiety that you no longer have from
Yes.
not being on your
Yeah.
phone and watching the
It
TV.
it is amazing. It's takes people about maybe a good day to get over it. And then most of them just put their phones away in their room and don't even look at them for the rest of the week or the retreat or whatever's going on.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I love that part. So I know you're also an entrepreneur, very techy, and I want to know, how has being a mom, being an entrepreneur, building community really helped you to now be this retreat venue host?
Yeah, so my background, I'm a self-proclaimed, I guess, entrepreneur, passionpreneur, superpreneur. I've always been a preneur since I was the age of 7. I started my first business. So I have a lot of experience in good stuff and bad stuff and failures and success. But all of the tools, like the frugal techie business coach side of me, has really helped this running this place. Because I've had no background in hospitality, let me just tell you, and nothing. But I have customer service experience, right? So I'm very much in tune to making people happy. I know what it feels like when I go into a resort and whatever's missing, right? Whatever that might be, or there's something not right. And Steve and I really, really want to make sure that everybody's stay is just perfect. And we were just thinking of some, like we just went out and bought yoga mats, and now every room has 2 yoga mats. Because whether you do professional yoga or whether you just want to lay out on the beach and do stretches or kickboxing, we're like, that's something special we can add as a touch to the room. But as far as
Mm-hmm.
like the marketing, my background is in marketing. Even though I never went to one class officially, it's all self-taught marketing. But I do all my own websites, all my own branding, all my own lives, all my own social media posts, and I love it. Like I wish I could do even more of it, but of course I have to run the business. But all of the things that I've done in my life have really brought me to this place today, where that I can serve people, I can serve communities, I can create experiences, and whether it's for the naturists who are just coming for a weekend, or whether it's for the retreat owner that wants to run this amazing, memorable, transformational experience. I just really love being able to take, like you said, all of my experiences, being a mom, of course, and of course, but more importantly, being that techie person, being able to promote the retreat. When this place was started 22, 23 years ago, there was no such thing as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X. They didn't have that ability to be able to market. It was all old school magazines. That's how they did it. It was physically
Well,
magazines that they advertised in Canada and the UK. And their story is amazing. And they did an amazing job, you know. But now I have an advantage because we have all these amazing technologies where we can meet people like you. I met you through a WhatsApp group or a Facebook group or whatever it was, but they would have never met you. And so
yeah,
that's what's so neat about today's technology is, you know, I actually, the woman that was just here for the last retreat, we met on a networking group, and now we got to meet and spend 7 days in person together. Like that's the magic that happens. And that's actually the magic that happens in retreats, as the fact that you can put actual um, people together, not just seeing them online, you know, online or on the screen, but actually sitting next to them by the pool. And I was able to share so many tips this week, and people are like, wow, I got a whole crash course on technology and I didn't come for that. I came for the retreat. But they were having issues with stuff. And I was like, I can fix that for you. And she was doing a really long way to get somebody to the end result. And I'm like, you know, you can do it this way in one click. And she's like, oh my God. Like, so I made her a quick video, and now I just, you know, I'm going to change her retreat forever, because now she's going to be able to teach people the faster way. And that's the
yeah,
magic that happens when you get together in that connectivity in person versus on a Zoom or a virtual. I mean, I love Zooms and I love virtual events, but to actually be able to rub elbows and sit and have dinner and to talk about your kids and like
yeah.
all of that is so just, it's mind blowing to me. Like it's just mind blowing.
Yeah, it is. I really love being with people. And like you, I'm very techie. Like I love what this enables, what this allows you to
Yeah.
do. But there's
Yeah.
something about being there in person with people that just takes it to another level. And I love that you focus, or I mean, I know all kinds of retreats are
Yeah.
booking at
Anything
your
can happen
place.
here that you want. Yeah. That's not a problem. We can do any type of retreat, but I do love to focus on business retreats,
Yeah, I do love that.
because that's my background, right? My background is business and entrepreneurship and coaching. And so there's a ton of places that you can host a yoga retreat. There's a ton of places you can host, you know, a health and wellness retreat. And there's amazing, beautiful places, and probably even more beautiful than here. but I have such a business background that it really works for me to help to work with business professionals and coaches and things like course creators and things like that.
Yeah.
And again, we've had naked yoga retreats, we've had couples retreats, we've had self-improvement retreats, but this last one was write a book at the beach retreat. I just think we have
I
something
love
really
that.
unique here for business owners because you know what? They're stressed out. Business owners
Yeah.
have so many things to juggle, right? They got the kids, they've got the spouse, they've got the work. They probably are running a million miles a minute. And when they come here, they can really focus on the task that they came here, whether it's to write a book, whether it's to brainstorm next year. Like I have some people that'll come and they'll actually be working on the 2025 or the next year, agenda of what they want to create, or whether it's team building. There's so many ways that you can use this space to just really connect with your team or your employees or your customers and clients.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I self-proclaimed also, I guess, serial entrepreneur.
Yep.
And it gets lonely. It really does, especially if your business is online. So being able to, and one thing my husband and I are always talking about how I would love to just be in the presence of other people who are also working on their own shit, Like I
Yep.
love resting and relaxing and playing, but I also like to be in the company of people that you and I are next to each other. You're working on your thing, I'm working on my thing, and we're enjoying the beach as we do it. Like, wow. I love
Yeah.
that.
It's amazing the energy that is created when you get a bunch of people in the room. Like you said, like we were all sitting writing the books together. The energy, we were all quiet, we were all working, but there was this magical energy happening and everybody was getting more creative and getting more work done. Because again, if I just said, oh, I'm going to sit down and write a book or I'm going to sit down and do this, I may or may never get to it. But when you're focused and you have a leader, the retreat leader, to organize you through the process of whatever it is, like you said, whether it's just sitting down and working on goals or, I don't know, creating your next course. There's so many different things you can do. But when you have a leader that's there and you have time breaks too, because I don't know about you, but I end up working for hours without taking a break, which is a big no-no.
Yeah.
You're supposed to work 25 minutes and take a 5-minute break, 25 minutes, 5-minute break. That's really the best way your brain's supposed to work. So I've been taught my body doesn't do that. So it's so nice for the leader to say, all right, guys, we're going to work an hour and a half and we're going to take a 30-minute break, go take a swim in the pool, go walk out on the dock, go put your feet in the ocean. And, that's the difference. And, we started every single day with a grounding exercise. So that's so nice with feet in the water, feet in the sand, with just focusing on what the day was going to do. And that, again, that's hard to do when you're in a boardroom or you're in a hotel ballroom. It's hard for you to
Yeah.
really get that grounded and just that really focused morning or whatever that is, the affirmations that you want to do for the day. But in some place like this, you can do that. And I have to say, it's just transformation happens.
Yeah.
So amazing.
And you have so many different activities. They're also like if you wanted to say, okay, I'm going to work for an hour and a half and then I'm going to treat myself to a dive
Yeah. Yeah.
or
So we've
something.
got kayaks, we have stand-up paddle boards, we have snorkeling equipment, we have a beautiful pool that looks at the ocean. So we can take a break and you can just go for a swim, whether it's the ocean or the pool, take the kayaks out, take the stand-up paddle boards out, put some snorkeling gear in, go under the pier and look around. And if you really want it, we even have some fishing poles. So you can try fishing too.
Can you also get certified as a diving
Yeah, we have a SSI certified dive center right here on site with 2 amazing dive instructors from Barcelona. So we
That's
offer all of
amazing.
our guests when we do a retreat, if you want to do what's called try diving, which is free, we get you in the pool. We get you in the pool with the equipment on. We do some just basic instruction to see if that interests you. Because some people, they don't like it. Others are just like, oh, that's really cool. And then if you'd like to take certification, of course, you need to be here a little bit longer to do that, but we can get you certified in diving and scuba diving. And we are located on the second largest barrier reef in the world, next to, of course, the Great Barrier Reef. We have manatees, we have spotted eagle rays, we have beautiful turtles, dolphins, and just a plethora of different types of fish and corals. Lobster, I saw
Wow.
tons of lobster last time I went diving.
That's amazing. I saw the turtles and the videos. Your website is amazing, by the way. I was showing my husband, I'm like, you got to see this website. This website
Uh,
is awesome.
well,
It's really good.
I did it myself on purpose
Wow.
because it's really hard for me to get my vision to somebody else's thing. So, and I really
Mm.
enjoy it. I enjoy going in And it's been a work in progress. When I started it, we actually started the website in January. We didn't settle on the property until August, but I knew we were going to be coming, and I knew it was going to take me a long time because their website was very old and outdated. Pictures looked like they were taken with Polaroids, and they just didn't do the place justice. And again, that might have been okay for 22 years. But when you're trying to attract a larger audience and get it out there on social media, you need good photos, right? So I
Yeah.
had videographers come. I learned some lessons, and we did a lot. Like I said, all the photos are probably within the last year, so they're all very, very recent photos. So it looks exactly like what you see, other than some of the photos we didn't have the pool, but now we have the pool.
Yeah. How important do you think social media is, and just having a website in order to have a business that is successful in the retreat industry?
It's a game changer. I was doing actually last night, sitting down doing the numbers between last year and this year, and we have taken their numbers and we have 300% increased them.
Wow.
Yeah, now that's through group retreats, through a group diving, other like groups help, right? Because you book the whole thing out, right?
Hmm.
So that helps instead of having a two here, a two here, a two here. But even in just our day-to-day bookings, we've had visitors from over 44 countries that have come to visit us. So it's an amazing secret spot here that people don't really know about it. But with the Mayan train going in and the Tulum airport, more and more people are going to learn of this area. But yeah, you have to have a website, and it needs to be up to date. I'm constantly tweaking it as I learn things or improving it, because people want to see what they're coming to, especially here in Ishkalak, because it's so off grid. It's like, I'm going to go where? Well, how long is it from Cancun or Tulum? Like, they need to make sure that when they show up, that it's exactly what they expect and no
Yeah.
surprises. And I will have to say that everybody comes here, says, our photos look exactly like the place, and the place even looks better than our photos, which I don't even think is possible, but hey.
I think it's possible. I often try to take photos of the moon, and it just
Oh,
doesn't, it's not working.
yeah. I agree with
So,
you on that. The moon never comes out. The eyes, you got to see
no,
it in person.
yeah.
And some of the sunrises too. I try to capture them, and they're not as pretty as what I'm seeing in person.
Hmm. Yeah, so it might be the same
Yeah.
with Playa Sonrisa. You just have to be there, just take it
Yeah.
all in. So, okay, tell me about the naturist aspect of it, because yeah, I find that to be very interesting. How did you mentioned that you're like, "Oh yeah, let's try it out." So
Yeah.
what made you decide to keep it?
Excellent question. So we decided the first 2 months, we had a couple of bookings that had come in before we actually settled on the property, because they were still trying to get bookings here and there. And Steve and I said, look, let's just go and let's just experience it as is. Let's not make any changes. Let's not try to go and change up the menu and the food or do things our way yet. Let's just get here,
Mm.
follow his instructions on what he told us to do. And we ended up meeting, the first couple was from Belize and the second one was Switzerland. And we just sat down and talked to them, and we just fell in love with the community. And I can say to this day, I mean, the Naturist community is one of the nicest, friendliest, coolest communities I've ever met. It is not anything like you would think
Oh,
of. So if you're thinking of desires in Cancun, nothing like that. Don't even put
what's
us in
that?
that category, because that is
I don't even know
not
what
what
that
we
is.
are. But people see that and think that. Naturists just want to erase the tan lines. They just want to be clothes free and enjoy nature. They want to sit by the water, hear the breeze, hear the birds, watch the pelicans dive bomb for food. They want to go snorkeling naked. It is amazing. And that's why we decided to keep it, because after meeting everybody, and I actually tell you what really made us keep it. So we decided to have famous naturist bloggers come here in September. We'd only been here for like 4 weeks, and we had hired them to come to take new photos. They'd been here in 2018, and we just wanted them to come and meet us as new owners and hang out and see what's going on. And so they're the Naked Wanderings. They are Belgian. They're, I don't know, in their 30s, I guess. And they go around the world visiting every type of naturist or nudist beach. And then they review it. And they're as candid as can be. I mean, that's what I love about them, is their honesty. But she sat here and she said, Blaney, you and Steve have something that really almost no one else has in the entire world. And I'm like, what that? She said, normally when you find a naturist resort on the beach, like we have an acre of beachfront where you can tip your toes in there, it is a big, big hotel, because they want to capitalize on the beach. So it's usually a very large building, a lot of people. Or You find something in the jungle that's way far in there that's wonderful and naturist. They don't have a beach. They probably just have a pool, and it's very small and quaint. And she says, you're one of the only ones that they can find that has both. We have quaint, small boutique, family style kind of resort on the beach, and we have a pool now. And she's like, you've got something that when people come here, I know why they don't want to leave, because it's not something you're going to find. And we do have 24-hour power. We have solar power. So it's not like there was one resort, they actually closed the electric down certain times of the day. No, we don't do that. You will have fans and lights 24/7 to plug in your cell phones or whatever. And we do have, plenty of drinking water and shower water. So even though we have those amenities, as we'll call them, you know what I mean? We still have this Gilligan Islands feel when you come here. If you stand back at the dock that's behind me over here and
Yeah.
you look at the beach and you see our little piece, there's nothing really for miles. I mean, you go down, there's a couple of houses that are owned by some expats, and there's just a ton of beach. There's no high rises. There's no jet skis. Like, there's no karaoke. There's nobody trying to sell you stuff. I mean, if you want a beachfront massage, we'll bring in our masseuses. They're absolutely wonderful, and we'll do them on the beach for you. But there's not going to be somebody waiting for you to go, massage senorita, snorkeling senorita, whatever,
Yeah.
sombrero senorita, like none of that. And so that really did it for us. It really did it for us. We were like, okay, if it's that special, why would we want to take that away from the naturist community? More and more
Mm.
hotels are being sold that are naturist. They're going textile. They are going to clothing required. And so everybody was so fearful that we were going to do it too. And be honest, we had thought about it. But then I'll tell you, one of my first retreats, they called up, they wanted to do a naked yoga retreat. And I'm
That's
like, oh my God, I
awesome.
got the perfect place for it right here. And my staff
That's
is used
awesome.
to it. It's hot here, guys. I mean, the sun is usually
Yeah.
shining, right? So who wants to wear clothes? But I will tell you this, if you book a business retreat with me, you get the entire resort to yourself. There's no outsiders, so there's no naturist. If you decide, if you're doing a girls trip here and you all girls want to get naked, go for it. But make sure it's 100% unanimous before you do it. Don't go just one
Yeah.
person go rogue on us. But we lock down the resort so that it's only the retreat owner, the retreat owner and their guests here, so that it is a private retreat, even though the other days when it's not a retreat, we have plenty of guests that are naturists. And naturist doesn't mean you have to be naked all the time. And like I said, it
Yeah.
just means you like to go out and get some sunshine and relax. And they do. They play, cornhole naked. It's fun. I mean, I watching these folks just enjoy life, enjoy the nature, the
Yeah.
freedom that this allows them to be here. And we get so many first timers, so many. We had 3 couples last week, and all 3 of them were first timers. But that's coming off my marketing, right? Coming off my marketing, my lives. It's coming off my images, my graphics, the things that I'm making, and they're realizing like this is no big deal. Come and again, you're only the worst case. You're going to be here with 7 couples, and we are a couples resort, so we don't allow any gawky single people running around, and we don't allow children. You know what I mean? Now, again, if you want to book the retreat out for a family reunion, we have somebody who did that. They're having their whole family's coming. They're all taking a bungalow with kids. That's fine. That's a private event, and then
Yeah.
you can have kids. But if you're doing, normally, if we're just booking off Expedia or our website, we only accept couples. We have I'll say there's an exception for a single here and there who's maybe been here and their spouse has passed away and they're familiar with the community and they're very comfortable. But as far as just random people coming here, nope. And actually, we just started doing day passes. So I don't know if you know where we are, but the Mahawal cruise port, Costa Maya,
Yeah.
is an hour north of us. So we get a lot of people looking for day excursions out of the norm that don't want to sit on a beach full of crowded people like they just did on the
Mm-hmm.
boat. And we just got one today. They want to come tomorrow for a day pass. And they're coming on the boat
Wow.
and they'll come here and they'll spend the day trying clothing optional, or maybe it's their thing. I don't know. We'll find out when they get here.
That's amazing. And what's the most amazing feedback you've gotten from someone that's a first timer and then they've tried it, and what do they say? What's their experience?
Yeah. So one couple actually, they came on the cruise ship and were here for the first time. They were also trying the clothing option for the first time. And, I actually recorded their testimonial because they gave me chills. They actually said they couldn't believe that some place like Playa Sonrisa exists for average people like them. They thought places like this, remote, secluded, boutique-y, whatever, were only for rich people. And it gave me chills and they just had the most beautiful day. And now of course they're going to come back for a week, right? Because they did it once and they realized, oh, that's safe. I can do that. That's not a big deal. And so, now they booked for 3 weeks because they loved it.
It's amazing. And I
Yeah.
love it. That's so important to create that safe space. And like you
Yeah.
said, that there's nobody for miles. You don't have to worry about somebody coming up from the neighboring resort or whatever it
Yep.
is
Yep.
to,
Yeah,
that's really
exactly.
cool.
And like Nicolyn said, I mean, this is really hit home how special this place is. And now that we've lived here for a year, we've visited other places and things like that, we do realize like we're very lucky. I mean, we're lucky we found it. We're lucky that it showed up on a Google search. It was fate. It was definitely an omen. They've been trying to sell it since 2018, so like for 6 years, or
Wow.
5 or 6 years. So it was fate that the right people that were supposed to be here, and even the old owners said to us that this place needed our energy. It needed a new kind of kickstart. And I actually, one of my past guests who's been here twice just put it on Facebook how much they just love that what we've done to this place, that we've kept the integrity, right? And we've kept it special, but we've just made some improvements to make the guest experience that much better. And he was really impressed at how much he's been here 8 or 9 times before we took over, and he loved it. But now he loves it even more.
What kind of improvements have you made?
Oh, wow. Okay. There's like I always leave count. There's so many. The biggest one I think that the fans and the guests love is Steve built 3 hanging beds on the beach with full size
Oh,
mattresses that look at the ocean and they kind of sway. And we used camping mattresses. And that was my idea, actually, because I figured a regular mattress is going to get yucky outside in the
yeah.
elements. But a camping mattress material is made for the elements. And then, of course, we put a sheet on them. So those are over there. And usually our guests will rotate who gets them. We have 3 of them. So they're beautiful, great for napping. He actually finished. So when we got here, we only had 5 units. So there was 2 units behind the beachfront that actually didn't really have a great view. They were cabins, they called them, and they were basically just full of junk. So we gutted them and then we raised the roof and we put on a rooftop deck. And so
Mm.
he's remodeled the one, and next month will be the second one will be remodeled and done. And our clients just love it, especially first timers, because they can get upstairs, and they can just see the view and kind of private, not people walking in front of them. But we used all wood that we could find from the beach. So all the walls and stuff that we try to do were all reclaimed wood. And we found like the sink
Wow.
countertop was a piece of wood from the beach. So we love trying to create that nature in the remodels that we did. And of course, the pool was the biggest one. Definitely a big deck around it for yoga and chairs, but also the pool. He put a waterfall at the end that he built all with bamboo
Mm.
sticks, and he's
Oh,
amazing. Like, I'm marketing genius, he's the construction genius all the way around. What else have we done? Well, let's see. Well, we remodeled the whole restaurant because they had a bunch of junk in there and kayaks were in there, and it just couldn't operate with more people. Oh my goodness. Oh, we added like a really cool boat bar in the back in the game room. And of course the dive center. We built the dive center and put all that in there. So just,
wow.
things from like staining the chairs to painting the front of the bungalows to repainting. Oh, we got all new draperies, all new sheets, all new towels, all new pillows. That was really important to have a fresh feel when you walk into the room, you know?
Hmm.
And so that was really cool. Um, Gosh, I'm sure there's a bazillion things more that we did, but
That's a lot
yeah, exactly,
already
right? We
in a
updated
year.
yeah, in a year, exactly. And this one palapa, I don't know if you can see it behind me. I don't think you can see it. He
No.
built this really cool beachfront that way. See right there? He just
Oh,
built this really cool.
yeah.
That is water hammocks, and we have rafts up
Oh,
there that you can put in the water and tie on so you don't float away. That is our happy hour. It's called the hot
nice.
tub. It's called the hot tub lounge because the water right
Nice.
under it is always about 100 degrees because it's only like 3 feet. And
Oh,
so the
wow.
sign on it says hot tub lounge BYOB. So bring your own booze, bring your own whatever, because I'm not waiting on you out there.
Wow,
So
that's amazing.
yeah,
That's that's a lot of really great upgrades.
yeah.
Yeah,
And we have more to
got
come.
me
Like I said,
speechless.
we have some more visions and things that we want to do here. But one step at a time. Like it's just, there's always something to do here. So
Hmm.
yeah.
What have you found to be the most challenging of this whole process?
The challenging is you never know what's going to break when you least expect it. Our freezer went up the first week that held all of our meats, and trying to so we're 3 hours from the nearest like Home Depot, Walmart, Sam's Club. So trying to
Mm-hmm.
figure out how to get it here, how to pay for it, like online, that was a whole ordeal. So that, and the other thing, the only time that I think that stresses me out is when it rains, and it rains for a couple of days, because remember, we run on solar with battery backup and generator. So on rainy days, everybody has to be careful about, flushing the toilets, running the water too long, and we have to run the generator, which means we're burning gas. So, it is the way of the life here, and you just have to deal with it. But luckily, I would say 90% of the time we get plenty of sun every day. So it's we don't have to even think about the power. You can run your fans all day, do whatever you need to do. It's not an issue. But yeah, that's probably the two things. And the bullfrogs. Oh my gosh, the
The
bullfrogs are
bullfrogs?
mating right now. They're mating right now. And they're so loud. They're outside my window. They are outside my window. And I'm like, I don't want to get rid of them because they're cool. But like up until about 11 o'clock, they are out there screaming at each other, whatever they do, and talking to each
Wow.
other. And I'm just like, I don't remember bullfrogs. I'm sure, Steve. Yeah, but man, they are loud. And we went and found them. They're only this big. We went and found them. I'm like, they're so little. They have this big voice, but that's all part of the fun. We really do live in a jungle. I mean, we have
Mhm.
geckos, we have iguanas, we have raccoons, tons of different birds. I mean, we're always seeing different things every day. It's just amazing.
I love that. And your property is sustainable too. Like you were telling me that you collect rainwater.
Yep. All the water that you shower with is from the rain. Um, and luckily, we get lots of it at certain times. So the cistern stays very, very um, full, which is nice.
That's really cool. Wow. I need to go visit.
I want you to
I
come
mean,
visit. Please come visit anytime.
I'm
Just let me
ready.
know. Let me know.
I'm ready.
I'll hook you up.
Um, also, all right. Mm, yeah, tell me more about the location. Like driving there. It's about 3 hours from Tulum, right?
Yeah, 3 hours from the Tulum airport. It's really actually an easy drive. I was just giving directions to my friends that are coming. I'm like, all right, when you get out of the airport, you make a right onto 307 and you drive for 2 hours straight. And literally, it is straight. There's not one road. And then you make a left at the Mahawal Road. Then you make a right at the Ishkalak Jungle Road, and you continue down there for an hour through the town and then up the beach road. It's the last 7 miles is truly a beach road. It's just, some potholes and sand, but that's what makes the adventure so fun. Like you really like
Yeah.
where we go. When we came here, we're like the first time before we bought it, like, where are we going? Like, where are they taking us? Like, this is in the jungle. But it was so cool. And then you pull in and you come to the beach and you see this beautiful view, and everybody just stands there and is like, oh, this was worth it. This was
Yeah.
so worth it. And so many of our clients change their return dates if we can accommodate them with rooms. I can't tell you how many of them say, oh my God, can we stay 2 more days? I'm going to see if I can change my flight. Like once they get here, they don't want to leave. Or they'll spend 8 days in Bacalar and 2 days here, and they go, oh my God, we should spend 2 days in Bacalar and 8 days here. Right. So that to me is a great testament when people are changing their flights to stay longer.
Yeah. Yeah. We went to a retreat in the Siancan, which is kind of, not not that close, but not that far. I guess it's closer to Tulum.
Okay.
And it was kind of at the time, there was no Tulum airport. And I can tell you that sometimes, at first when you think, oh, it's a 3 hour drive, but totally worth it. And
Yep.
just part of the experience of getting to the place. I love that.
Exactly. And no one really, once nobody gets here, they forget how long it was. They really don't care. And again, it's not a hard ride either. I mean, it's a big highway with lots of cars, plenty of things, gas stations to stop. And it's really easy drive.
Okay.
It's not like you're 3 hours on the jungle road in the back of who knows where. I mean, you're on a very, very good road for a very long
Yeah.
time.
Well,
Even
that's
the
good.
Mahawal jungle road is paved. So like there, it's jungle on both sides, and you're just going down. There's no lights, nothing. So don't, my
Well,
biggest
that's
thing is
nice.
obviously if you do come to visit us, do not drive at night. And not because it's not safe. It's not safe because you might hit an animal. It's not safe
Yeah.
because you don't know the road. And if there's a twig in the middle of it, you might hit it with your car. It's safe, but you still I don't like driving it at night. And we do because we know the road very well now. But in the beginning, we didn't. And we tell our clients, don't drive it at night because you just don't know, man. If a coyote, whatever, jumps in front of you or a bird, you might end up going off the road, right? So,
Yeah.
but other than that, it's a paved road. It's beautiful. I mean, like The only part that's not a good road is the last 7 kilometers going through Ishkalak and coming to us. And trust me, I actually was just in Tulum this weekend, and my friend took me down 2nd Avenue, which was worse than our beach road. And a car actually got stuck because the pothole was so deep, he couldn't get
Yeah.
out of it. He had to back up and leave. And ours aren't like that. We have potholes, but they're shallow.
Okay.
They're shallow.
Oh,
So you're not
that's
going to
good
like
to know.
any car can make it down our road. That car could not make it down that road.
I think that's the road that we may have taken. And there was, I don't know if this is, if you've seen this on the road to your place, but at night, so many crabs.
Yes, the time of the year. Yes, they go sideways.
Yeah,
And they're fast too, right across the road.
they're
Yeah, we
super
get them down
fast.
here on the jungle road. And like we have a lot of hermit crabs on our property at night. Oh my gosh, we have hermit crab races and all kinds. They're like everywhere
That's
at
so
night.
cute.
Yeah, it's
And
really
what
fun.
about the stars? Can you see the stars?
Crystal clear. Yes, the end of our dock is where we tell people go take a cushion, lay out and sleep on the end of the dock. It's that lovely out there. Sleep until you get cold and come in, right? Because you actually do get a chill after a while. The stars are amazing. We actually saw a couple of meteor showers last year that were just, I would have never seen them back in Baltimore. No way, man. Too many lights from the city and the town and everything. Yeah. And the day beds are nice to lay on too and look at the stars. And the pool, actually, we have rafts in the pool and we'll go out at night and just lay there and look up at the stars at the pool.
Oh my
And yeah,
God.
lovely. And the super
Love to do
moons, right?
that.
The harvest moons, all
Yeah.
those moons that they get down here, they're off the charts. Like you said, a camera can't catch her. I'm sure how good that is.
No. We haven't talked about the food. How's the food?
Oh, fantastic. So Steve and I are the chefs here, and we don't have a chef background, but we love to cook. And Steve does most of the cooking, but like I have my dish that I make. It's a pineapple and shrimp sriracha bowl, rice bowl served in the pineapple. Steve catches fresh
Oh.
red snapper. We put it on a beautiful chit palm on a plate. It's just a beautiful presentation. We don't cook true Mexican. We actually, if we need to, we hire our friend Ben to come do it like we did last Friday for the Day of the Dead party. I didn't even want to
Oh.
try to touch the Mexican bean soup and the Aztec pastel lasagna. I just hired him to do it. But the food is amazing. We will say we cook more American, but most of our clients are Americans or Canadians or Europeans. We get very few Mexicans, but hopefully we'll get more as we start getting out there into the channels and things like that. But the food's amazing. So breakfast is, usually obviously coffee, espresso, tea. You get an assortment of homemade breads and muffins. Then you also get fruit, of course, fresh fruit, papaya, mango, pineapple, watermelon, melon. They call it melon. We call it cantaloupe. And then we always have an egg of the day for breakfast. So sometimes it's a fried egg, sometimes it's frittatas, sometimes it's an omelet roll. So we always make fun every day. If you stay more than 7 days, you might get something twice. But we have about 7 days of menus for the breakfast. Lunch, I'll have to say, our lunches, a lot of our people don't eat lunch, but we do offer sandwiches, and we have a wrap of the day. So whether it's shrimp salad or chicken salad or tuna salad, but typically just sandwiches. But the dinners, we always throw amazing appetizers out there. Stuffed mushroom caps are one of the clients' favorites. Shrimp wrapped in bacon is one of Steve's favorites, like back from the States. And that is, everybody loves that. We do, of course, Mexican shrimp cocktail. We do steak bites, fresh barracuda bites. He caught a barracuda. We made fresh barracuda
Wow.
bites. So the appetizers are just amazing, and all of our dinners come with appetizers. So the way we do our dinners, everything is family style. So we have one appetizer, one meal, and one dessert of the day, just because it's easier to feed, 7 to 14 people that way. When there's only 2 of us and one staff member. But like I said, the meals, I do a seafood linguine that everybody just goes gaga over. Steve's fall off the bone chicken is amazing. Everybody wants his recipe on how he gets literally you pick it up and the meat just falls off. Like I said, we just have all kind of fun recipes that we just love playing with food. And then desserts, I make homemade key lime pie. We have a local that makes us homemade cheesecakes. So we try to, use the neighbors and the people in the area to help us get, homemade carrot cake, things like that. And nobody complains about the food. Actually, they say we feed them too much. Especially when they're on vacation, they're like, I'm trying to watch my figure and you guys keep feeding me all this food and I have to eat it because it tastes so good and I don't want to waste it.
That's awesome. Wow. I love that. It sounds very down to earth
Yeah.
and
Comfort food, like that kind
nourishing.
of
Yeah,
stuff.
comfort
Yeah.
food.
But just to let you know too, like if you do a retreat and you need to have a specific meal plan, I mean, we can do vegan, we can do vegetarian, we can do gluten free. We've done all of those for our clients.
Okay.
Again, might not have as much flexibility if you don't eat egg. It's a little harder because egg is a big product down here. But again, we will make it work as long as you give us plenty of notice. We can get to Chetumal, where the Walmart actually found a super key that has a whole organic section that's just lovely. So again, we can accommodate special needs if needed. Otherwise, we will be serving what we always do and everybody loves.
Yeah, that's good. That's good that you can do that. And I saw that you're on your Instagram that yeah, it was on your Instagram that you're promoting in Spanish now too.
Yeah, so we are starting to do that. We
That's
actually, I'm
awesome.
doing some using some avatars and do things like that. But we also have Francelli, who is a naturist, a Mexican naturist, who is actually one of the spokespeople for the Federation of Mexican Naturists, who's coming here this week, and she will be doing us all kind of videos in English and Spanish. So she'll give us
Oh,
plenty
that's
of content.
awesome.
Yeah, because like a lot of people will say to me, "Well, why aren't your ads in Spanish?" And I'm just like, well, because one, I don't really speak it well. I am learning. I have a tutor. I'm learning. But two, if I look back at our demographics, very few are Mexican. And if they are, they find it, I guess, just on the website. So I'm looking forward to it. Especially, we have a couple of really good clients that come from Guadalajara and Mexico City, and they and Merida, and they come here often, like because they can drive it, right? Playa del
Yeah.
Carmen, Cancun, it's drivable. They don't have to fly. So it's great because they can call us up last minute and be like, hey, do you have anything 3 weeks from now? And we can try to squeeze them in versus having to worry about buying flights, right? Having to deal with
Yeah.
all of that. And a lot of times they'll fly Mexico City to either Tulum or to Chetumal. So there's actually two international airports that the Mexican
Mm,
locals can fly into if they're flying inside of Mexico. So
yes.
so yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool. I'm trying to just reach out again, just reach out and explore. And there are a lot of Mexican naturists. So just a matter of how do I reach them, right? How do I reach them
Yeah.
being American? How do I reach them? So Francelli, I think, is really going to help. She has 80,000 X followers. So that's a huge following of folks that
Yeah.
may or may not have heard of us and probably haven't heard of us.
That's amazing. I really love that you're doing that to, involve the local community and just
Yeah.
people in Mexico.
Yeah. Why not? We're
Yeah.
in Mexico. They should be able to take
Mm.
advantage of this place too. You know what
Yes.
I mean? So, and there's not a lot of naturists. I mean, in Mexico, not a lot of places to go. So we
Yeah,
want to
I'd
make sure that they
imagine
are
that.
aware
Yeah.
that we are an option. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that yeah, I would never have thought that this was because I can think it's like it's more in general very conservative
Yeah.
culture,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
but I love this. I love that it's like, hey, come explore the other
Exactly.
side.
Exactly. We call,
Mm.
and like I said, escape from civilization. And that
Yes.
is so true. Somebody said to me once, well, how can you escape if you have Wi-Fi? I said, well, then you just don't turn on your computer. Like even though we have it, don't bring your computer. Then you won't be on your computer.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I said, we should, every once in a while, we should just turn off the Wi-Fi. Oh, sorry, it's broken. It's down
Yeah.
today.
I would totally do that. I would
I
totally
know
do
we
that.
can.
Okay, so I think we have gone through a lot. So is there any advice that you would like to give from the experience that you've had now owning a retreat space? Let's say
Yeah.
advice that you would give to your younger self looking back
My
in
younger,
hindsight.
yeah. Okay, advice to my younger self. Um, it's not fun to think about the legal stuff that comes with running a retreat center.
Mm,
And it's very easy to overlook it and like not even go there. And I think, if you are going to officially really host retreats that are official retreats, you need to make sure that you get yourself covered, like liability insurance. We had to get liability insurance on the property, but also making sure that your retreat host have their own insurance, right, as well.
okay.
And those are things you don't like to talk about. I mean, we think, oh gosh, nothing's ever going to happen. But, things happen. Somebody slips and falls, somebody can't make their flight. Do they get their money back? So I think, and that is something that is really, it took me a while to realize that I needed to have documents, contracts with the retreat host and then the retreat host has to have it with their attendees because
Okay.
shit happens. And you know, how are you going to handle that? And you don't want to be making it up as you go. So I think
Mm-hmm.
if you're starting a retreat center or you're running a retreat center, you know, you can't go by the seat of your pants. You've got to like really think about the legal side of it and talk to the right people and get the right forms. And that's not the fun stuff that comes with running a retreat center, but it's really important that you have it because anything can happen anytime.
And how long does that take? Like, let's say you're saying, okay, I'm gonna set aside some time to make this happen. How long does it take to have all of that in
So it really
place?
depends. There are places that you can buy templates. So obviously, go find a mentor, go find somebody. You don't have to start it from scratch. Like, you don't have to call a lawyer and go, I need this retreat. So there are lots of resources out there. So you can Google it and find some templates, and then you can go and create them yourself. You know, just take the template, and then just if you have a lawyer, let them read it over. So I mean, I would say at least a week. I could
Okay.
do it in a week, probably. I think I did it in a week. So a week. But look at the documents you need. Because, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I mean, in certain countries and places like that, like you can't even sell a retreat unless you're a travel agent. Like you can't even, if you are a host of a retreat, you can't sell it unless you're a travel agent. So you either have to become one or you have to give your retreat to a travel agent, let them sell it. And that's a lot. There's 3 in Canada and a couple of states in the United States that are that way. So like finding out
Hmm.
those rules to find out, are you allowed to be doing what you're doing or do you have to do it a different way? It may never catch up to you, but it also might. So
Yeah.
again, find out the rules. The legal stuff is, I do not like, I am creative. I like doing the websites
Mhm.
and doing the videos and doing all the TikToks or whatever. I like doing all the posts. I don't like the nitty gritty, you know,
Yeah.
legal stuff, but that's why it was the hardest for me to go and find all those and do them. But you just got to do it, guys. I mean, it's just cover yourself. Even if it's your best friend hosting the retreat, don't take it for granted because just have them sign. It's one of those things everybody has to sign it. I don't care if it's your boyfriend, your best friend, your mom, a stranger. It's just one of those things. This is customary. Everybody has to sign these documents. If you want to retreat here, this is what you sign.
Yes. That's great advice.
Yeah.
Okay, so then my last thing is, do you have a question to ask the retreat gods? If you could ask anything, what would it be?
If I could ask anything on the retreat gods, hmm, that's a hard one. I don't know. I know. Um, I really don't know. I just wrote a book about writing retreats, so I kind of just covered everything in my book.
Oh, what's it
So
called?
it's Profitable Retreats 101. You can go to profitableretreats101.com to get on the wait list. It'll be on Amazon November 14th, so very soon.
Okay.
So, because the retreat book was here, she let me sit in and write my book with her retreat. So I got to write my book.
Oh, wow.
That I did. I did it in 5 days. So her retreat
That's
works, by the way.
amazing.
Write a book at the beach in 5 days works. My boyfriend, Steven, wrote his book and I wrote my book in 5 days. And all I have to do now is proof it and hit the button on Amazon. So it can be
Wow.
done. We're going to do the retreat again, by the way. So look me up. We'll be doing that retreat again for sure. But yeah, profitableretreats101.com. And that's why I said I kind of just went through all of this in my book. So I really don't have any major questions. I mean, we're booked out till March here. So if somebody wants a retreat, you know, 2025, middle of the year is as soon as I can get a retreat or a group event here, a private event. So that's, you know, that's really exciting, actually. I'm really, like I
Yeah.
said, we're really excited with the growth and the direction of Playa Sonrisa. We're never going to take away. Actually, to be honest with you, I'm only committing to 1 retreat a month here, so 12 a year on purpose, because I don't want to thin out my naturist community. I mean, like I said, we're January and February, we have 1 retreat, and the rest of the dates are booked with naturist. February, I have 1 retreat. The dates are booked with the rest of the naturist.
I
So I
love
just
that.
want to make sure that's my commitment. So if somebody wants to book here, they do need to get on my calendar because I'm only going to do 1 a month because I do not want to take away what's been created here for the naturist community, but I also want to serve the retreat community at the same
Yeah.
or group community.
And so if you want to go there as a naturist or just to try it out, you just book a room and it's like a
Yeah.
hotel?
Yeah, you just go to
That's amazing.
playasorisamexico.com. You book a room. Minimum is 3 nights in our beach fronts. Our second floors, you can do it for 1 or 2 nights. So if you're local or close by, or you're already in the area, if you want to stay 1 or 2 nights, you can stay upstairs instead of on the beach front. But the beach front, like right now, I don't have any beachfront availability till March 15th.
Wow.
Well, I think I
Well,
might have 1 week in December. I take
congratulations.
that back. There might be 1 week in December, but typically the beachfront ones go really fast. But yeah, just book it. Come, you get free breakfast is included with your stay, and then again, I actually had someone who came who's a naturist, and she actually wants to host a retreat. So we're going to put copies of my book in every room for them to read, or while they're here, hang out and check it out, because a lot of our clients are business professionals, health and wellness coaches, course creators. A lot of them want to do a retreat, and what better to do it in a place where they just came, they know it's amazing, and they can take their own videos and say, oh my gosh, you got to come to my course, my retreat here in Playa Sonrisa.
Yeah. Wow. This has been such an amazing chat. Thank you, Blaney,
Well,
for
thank you for having
talking
me.
to
This is
me.
so fun how the universe works. I love it, how it puts people together that are supposed to be together. It
Yes.
just amazes me every day, the people that I meet through social media and different networking opportunities.